Okay, so in this question, we're going to look at solving this quadratic by factorising. Now, this is one of the hard questions from the hard question paper. So if you haven't given the easy question sheet a go yet, I would go back to the easy question sheet. Okay, so what is the difference with this question then? So the difference here is that I have a number in front of my x squared, which is going to make the factorisation slightly harder. But it's the same concept. So we'll start with our two brackets, because remember, quadratics have two brackets. Okay, let's have a think about this first step. So normally we look at this number and we say, okay, what two numbers can times together to give 2x squared? So normally we'd have an x and an x because it would just be x squared. But in this case, it's 2x squared. So for this to be true, hopefully you can see that one of them needs to be 2x and the other one x, because when I times these together, I will have my 2x squared. Okay, so let's do the same process as before. Let's focus on this number here. How can I get 2? What two numbers can times to give 2? Well, there's only one choice here, a 2 times a 1. Perfect. So at this stage, you're probably thinking, okay, but there is no connection to 5 here. 1 and 2 cannot make 5. I can't add them or subtract them to give 5. So what do I do? Well, think back to the second video. We're going to have to use trial and error again. So let's first imagine that 2 is here and 1 is here. What do I get when I expand this? Well, I'm going to get 2x and 2x. So 2x and 2x. But that's got to equal to 5x, which it doesn't, so that does not work. Okay, let's rearrange the order then. Imagine I had a 1 here and a 2 here. Let's expand it again. I'm going to have 4x this time because 2x times 2 will give me 4x, and 1 times x will just give me x. Now this has to equal to 5x, which, if you can have a look here, for this to be true, both need to be positive. Amazing. Okay, so we have factorised this perfectly. But how can I solve this? So remember, for us to solve, one of these brackets needs to be equal to 0. So let's set both of them equal to 0. 2x plus 1 equals 0, and x plus 2 equals to 0. So remember, we are trying to find the value of x. Let's focus on this first equation. In order to find what x is, we need to do a bit of rearrangement. So let's move this positive 1 first. If I move this positive 1, it's going to become negative 1. Now, 2x. 2x means 2 times x. So if I am moving this 2 to leave x on its own, I'm going to have to divide. So x is going to equal to minus 1/2. Okay, and the last one is a little bit easier. To find x, I'm going to have to move this 2. It's positive, so on the other side, it will then become negative. Brilliant, and we have found two answers for x. X is minus 2, and x is equal to minus 1/2. Well done.